In a code language, the word task is written as 20-1-19-11. And this is done by replacing letters with their positions in the alphabet. A equals 1, B equals 2, and etc. Your goal is to determine how plan would be written in the same code. P is the 16th letter of the alphabet, L is the 12th, A is the 1st, and N is the 14th. So plan becomes 16, 12, 1, and 14. And the correct answer here is choice A. Where will the dot end up if you follow the instructions? Right, up, left, down, and right. Let's trace the path together. Make sure to stay sharp. Each move changes the outcome. Right, up, left, down, and right again. Is that where you ended up to? The final answer is choice D. What happens to the water level when a floating ice cube melts in a glass of water? Have you ever wondered why your glass doesn't overflow when ice melts? Let's break it down. When ice floats, it pushes water out of the way, just enough to match the weight, but not the volume. That's the key. Ice takes up exactly the space it had originally displaced. So the final answer is choice A. Patterns are everywhere, from nature to numbers. Let's test your eye for details. You're given a sequence of shapes. Each has a mix of vertical and horizontal lines. Can you identify what comes next in this evolving pattern? Look closely. What's increasing? What's decreasing? Think logically. What would the next step look like? If you have picked option D, you nailed it. Here's why. With each step, vertical lines increase by 1, while horizontal lines decrease by 1. That makes D the perfect continuation of the sequence. A light ray traveling through air strikes a smooth water surface at a 45-degree angle to the surface. What happens to the ray as it enters the water? When a light ray moves from a less dense medium, which is air, to a denser medium, which is water, its speed decreases, causing it to bend toward the normal, an imaginary line perpendicular to the surface of the point of contact. And the correct answer here is choice B. You see a basket with 5 apples. You take away 3. So how many apples do you have? Sounds like a trick, right? Let's break it down. You see 5 apples, but that's just a setup. Then you take away 3. So which apples do you have? Think carefully. You now possess the 3 apples you took. Doesn't matter how many apples are left in the basket. The question asked, how many apples do you have? So the final answer here is choice B, 3. Some questions are all about spotting what doesn't belong. And this one is a shapeshifter. You're looking at 4 shapes. Each one contains a smaller shape inside a border. But only one of them breaks the pattern. Can you figure out which one shape is the odd one out? What are the most important elements that help us detect the pattern? I would say how many shapes and what stands out. Unlike the other choices, which are all 4-sided figures, the choice D features a triangle with only 3 sides, which makes it the odd one out, which means that the correct answer here is option D. 3 fictional companies, Lumora, Nexora, and Zifix, share a tech market. Lumora holds 50% of the market, Nexora has 25%, and Zifix has 25%, which donut chart correctly shows the market share. Let's break it down. The question clearly states a 50-25-25 split. Only chart A shows half the circle for Lumora, and the remaining half evenly divided between Nexora and Zifix. So the correct answer here is choice A. You buy 4 gadgets for $400 total. You sell 3 for $120, and then the last one for $100. What is your total profit? You spent $400, that's your total cost. Then you made 120 from each one of the first 3 gadgets. 3 multiplied by 120 is 360. Then you sold fourth one for 100. Altogether, you brought in $460 in revenue. Now let's subtract 460 minus 400 and the result is $60. So the final answer is choice A. Why does a longer, shallower ramp makes it easier to lift a heavy object to the same height? Here's the riddle of physics in everyday life. Push a box up a steel ramp and it feels like a workout. But stretch that ramp out, make it longer and shallower, and suddenly it's easier. Why? Because while the height is the same, you're spreading the work over a long distance. This reduces the force you need to apply it at any moment. The total work doesn't change, but the ramp gives you mechanical leverage. The correct answer here is choice C. What comes next in the sequence? A, C, F, J, O? Look closely at the gaps between the letters. A to C is +2. C to F is +3. Then +4, then +5. Do you see the trend? The last letter is O, which is 15th letter of the alphabet. Add +6 and we get 21, which is the letter U. And that completes the pattern. So the correct answer here is choice 1, U. You've got 8 identical looking balls, but one is slightly heavier. And you only have 2 chances with the balance scale to find the heavier ball. What do you do? Let's start by weighting 3 balls versus 3 balls. If they're equal, the heavy one will be in the remaining 2. If one side is heavier, great. Now just weight 2 balls from that group. The result will lead you straight to the odd one out. And the correct answer here is choice C. Which one of these numbers is an odd one out? 16, 36, 64, or 81? Let's think what those numbers have in common. They are perfect squares, which means each one can be written as a number times itself. So far so good, right? But there's a twist. Let's dive deeper. 16 is 4 squared, 36 is 6 squared, 64 is 8 squared, and 81, that's 9 squared. Notice anything? That's right, only 81 is the square of an odd number. The others, all even roots. So final answer is choice D, 81. Here's a quick puzzle built on basic fractions. But don't let its simplicity fool you. You're looking at 4 pie charts. Each one is divided into equal parts, and each has some sections shaded in. The question is, which one shows the fraction 5/8? Here's what you can do to solve it correctly. Take a close look. Count the total slices. Then count how many are shaded. Which circle shows exactly 5 out of 8 parts? If you have selected option A, well done. Let's break it down. The circle has 8 equal parts. 5 of them are shaded. That's exactly what 5/8 means. Simple, clean, and precise. In this question, you're presented with 4 objects, and you need to determine the odd one. Your choices for the answers are choices A, B, C, and D. Just like on the usual test, your goal is to understand the question and lock in your answer in your mind before time is up. Once you're ready, we'll reconnect on the other side and review it together. Let's go ahead and get started. Time's up. Do you have your answer ready? I hope so, because the solution here is extremely simple. You typically solve these types of challenges in 3 simple steps. In step 1, you break down each object into individual parts. In step 2, you review fundamental geometric components of each object. And then in step 3, you identify what the majority of objects have in common to find the outlier. Let's start with the step 1. If you look closely, you see that object A has triangle and square. Object B has 3 components: circle, square, and then circle again in the background. Even though object C looks like a diamond, you can argue that it consists of 2 squares. And object D consists of circle and the donut inside. What does it tell us? We just learned that objects A, B, and C all have squares in common. Let me highlight them for you so you can see them clearly. Can you see it? Remember the original question? We need to determine the object which is different. And object D, which contains circle and the donut, is different. And the correct answer here is choice D. Are you ready for more? Try this question to see how you would do. You're presented with 4 cool-looking shapes, and you need to determine the odd object that doesn't belong. Your choices for the answers are choices A, B, C, and D. After you've selected your final answer, post it in comments and I'll share my feedback. Enjoy solving the school problem. Let's challenge your problem-solving skills with this intriguing question. If storing 200 gigabytes of data in Amazon AWS costs $4, how much data can you store with $10? Your choices for the answers are choice A, 400 gigabytes, choice B, 500 gigabytes, choice C, 600 gigabytes, and choice D, 700 gigabytes. Just like with real assessment, focus on the question and choose your answer before time runs out. Once you're ready, we will reconnect on the other side to review it together. Let's go ahead and get started. Time's up. I hope you're ready because the solution is simple, yet it requires careful thought. Let's tackle it together. Let me offer you 2 ways to solve this challenge, and you post in comments which way you like better. In the first approach, we will calculate it by using cost per 1 gigabyte. If cost for 200 gigabytes equals $4, it means that cost per 1 gigabyte would be 4 divided by 200 and would be 2 cents per gigabyte. Now let's calculate how much can we purchase for $10. 10 divided by 2 cents equals 500 gigabytes. But wait, what if you don't have a calculator handy? Or maybe you're trying to improve your mental math skills. Let's solve it by doing the calculations per 100 gigabytes. If cost for 200 gigabytes equals $4, it would mean that cost per 100 gigabytes would equal 4 divided by 2 and would equal $200 per 100 gigabytes. Which would mean that for $10, you can purchase 10 divided by 2 multiplied by 100 gigabytes would be equal 500 gigabytes. Which way did you like more? Make sure to post your answer in comments. And as you might have guessed, the answer for this question is choice B, 500 gigabytes. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you for helping us to become one of the largest YouTube channels to help people become smarter, increase your IQ, and to pass any test. If the content of this video was helpful, please make sure to click the like button to help YouTube algorithm promote this video and help other people to find it faster. Giving us a like is also a way for you to tell us that you need more content like this, and when you tell us, we will deliver it for you in the future. For links to free and premium resources, please check the description and comments of this video. You can also go directly to our website, howtoanalyzedata.net, to download the materials related to this topic. I really appreciate your endorsement, support, and patronage of this channel. And thank you for considering to become a member and considering to subscribe. Please leave feedback, suggestions, or corrections in comments. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.